My name is Donna Moore. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm your worship associate today. Thank you for joining us this morning for our service entitled The Power of Humble Inquiry. We're an inclusive church where we support each other on our own and our shared spiritual journeys. We celebrate diversity of lifestyle and religious beliefs. We embrace the beauty within each of us, yet acknowledge the imperfections that make us human. In other words, you're all welcome, and I'm glad we can be together, both online and in person. I'm especially happy to welcome anybody here who is a first-time or returning visitor. If you're a visitor, we hope you will feel welcomed here and feel that we respect the path that has brought you here in person this morning. For information about our church, take a look at the pew folder or check out the visitors corner outside the church office. Also, anyone wearing one of these colorful sashes is here to welcome you as part of our pastoral care group, or to give you information about anything that you'd like to know about our church. Our church buildings are located on traditional homelands of the Pennacook Abenaki people, past and present. We acknowledge and honor with gratitude the land and the people who have stewarded it for generations. For a complete listing of church events and news, please click on the link at the bottom of any of our web pages to request our weekly e-bulletin and a copy of Parish Notes, our monthly newsletter. You can also find us on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. For links to resources referenced today, use our QR code on your order of service or click the button below the live stream window. And now there will be some announcements, and it looks like the announcements are that there will be social time in the courtyard after the service. Family end of summer party. There's a casual gathering will include games and crafts for children and connection and community for all. Then at 11:30, the teaching garden workshop. Leah Powers and Bianca Rivera-Berry will lead a seed saving workshop. Their Elm Grounds work day. Join in after the service to move mulch, cut back bittersweet, and try to cover it with cardboard and wood chips. Now this Wednesday there will be a community grief circle for Karen Landsman, and it will be held in our sanctuary at 6 p.m. Wednesday, August 27th. There will be a fall family potluck picnic. Join us on Sunday, September 7th, after the service for good company, good conversation, and good food. Please sign up. If you can bring a side dish, a dessert, or help with setup or cleanup, let us know. Contact Renee West with any questions. There's a Next Trek plastic collection. Thanks to all for your efforts to bring your clean plastic to the church and deposit it into the bins in the hallway under the coat rack. So far, we have collected almost 450 pounds, and we're almost halfway to our goal. Please continue to bring in your plastic. Please rise in body and spirit, or spirit, as we sing our song of welcome, number 298, in our gray hymnals. Please remain standing. Thank you. And join me in the words of our covenant found on our screen. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its call. Let this be our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your life journey, come, let us worship together. Please be seated. Each week we light our chalice to set this time apart and to mark it as sacred. If you are at home and you have a candle or chalice ready, I invite you to light it now as Susie lights our chalice in the sanctuary. Please repeat after me. It's a blessing to be. It's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to be here now. It's a blessing to be here now together.
Good morning. You all may have noticed we're having a couple of technical difficulties, and so Bevan is not here right now, but he will be back. We're working on getting him what he needs so that he can continue. But these are our opening words for today. And now, may we have faith in life to do wise planting, that the generations to come may reap even more abundantly than we. May we behold in bringing to fruition the golden dreams of human kinship and justice. This we ask, that the fields of promise become fields of reality. May it be so. Please rise and embody our spirit as we sing hymn number 6 in our gray hymnals, Just as Long as I Have Breath.
Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as nation lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dream and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to truth. Just as long as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment pierced through, still I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love.
Well, thank you for your patience. Can you hear me? Is it okay? All righty. Well, first of all, I want to be thankful. It's my assistant. She knows sign language. Thank you for your patience. Technology is what got me this morning. My tablet didn't work in the Wi-Fi in here, so if I'm hoping, we did in the budget decide to work on the Wi-Fi, right? Yes, thumbs up to the Wi-Fi, everybody. Okay, so that it will be, that won't happen again to anybody, I hope. So I'm blessed to be here, and now as we brought ourselves to our time that I think is just central to all of our services. I can't imagine having a UU service without joys and concerns or joys or sorrows. And I think I would just like us all to pause for a moment, take a couple of deep breaths. And I invite you, if you would like to light a candle, or place a stone, or write a note on our grief wheel. And if any of you would like to come up and share, I invite you to do so. Hi. Oh, can you hear me? Is it working? Takes a team.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, I just want to, it'll be 2 weeks tomorrow that my husband passed away, and I just really would like to thank everybody in this congregation that has been there supporting me. Flowers, cards, calls, texts, emails, visits, food, and more cards, you know, on and on. And it's just been very wonderful. I really feel the support, and thank you, and I'm glad I'm here. This is my home. Thank you.
Can I give you a hug? Hi, Josh.
I have a joy and a sorrow to share. My joy is that after a lot of searching, both my sister and I and myself have found new jobs to support us in this economy. And my sorrow is I have two friends that are still looking for jobs themselves, and I know the weight it carries on their shoulders, so I'm still praying for them to find something.
Hi, my name is Susie Nord, and I have a joy, a gratitude. I am grateful for this community and the kindness that you show when things are great and when things aren't so great. And yeah, I'm just really glad for all of you here.
Well, I'm going to share my joy, which was a concern. And if I were to talk to my neurologist, he would probably say it's still a concern. I fell here a couple of weeks ago, some of you may know. I got a whopping black eye and a concussion, and don't remember a thing. I've trusted Jim to tell me that I had no sense of where I was. When they finally woke me up hours later, they asked me where I was, and I said I was in church. I was in the emergency room. And then they asked me what was happening, what was the date. And I said, Christmas. I knew I was in trouble by the look the nurse gave me. But I am slowly progressing, and I can tell you one of the things that has been healing me and heals me. My first surgery here, and I'm not going to get into a long story, was in 2018. I had 2 knee replacements. My daughter died in 2019. 2020, I had a hip replacement. Then I had pneumonia, and on and on and on it went. And you know, it's this church. Church means the people, not the building. Help me to heal. Help me to get back on my feet, to find my heart again, to patch it up a little bit because it was broken. I had people who listened to me and brought me great soup and meals and sat with me, and journeyed with me and drove me, and just, I can't say how much I wish everybody had a people, had a family like I've had. And this last time you just did it again. You know, showing up and helping me with the boys and getting me to appointments and giving me food and not laughing at me either. I mean, I look like an abstract painting focused on black, blue, and a lot of green in my face. And the phone calls and the cards and I don't know, you should, I don't want you to experience this because that means you got to get hurt or sick, okay? But I want you to know that it's here. And there's a lot of love in this community. And if I say any more, I'm going to start to cry, and we don't want that. There's a service to do. So I know in your hearts there's a lot of you that have concerns, that have struggles, that have anxieties, that you didn't feel like getting up in front of us all and telling us today. But let's take a few moments of silence and hold those. Those are the ones that you didn't feel it was the right time to share. And if you do find someone later on, during this morning or during the week or whatever, I pray, and I sincerely pray that you do reach out, because there are people here who love you. So join me. Let's take a deep breath. Take a breath with me, as Michael says. Amen. And let us not forget the joys. You know, if you get up every morning and say, I think I'm going to look for a joy today, that might be a good spiritual practice, or a moment of awe, of wonder, of love. I think I'm going to keep looking. I think I'm going to be curious. I think I'm going to stay curious all day until I find all those beautiful things in my life. One of the beautiful things that happened for me was Greg came over and brought me some corn muffins. And the next thing you know, we were having this conversation that was in such, I'll explain later, in a place of attunement, of closeness. And from that, he has written a song for this service. So he's going to play the melody now so that we get used to it as we sit quietly. And later along, we're going to sing it together. And not to forget those that have sent in their prayer requests. We're going to hold in love the family of Karen Landsman, C.J. Landsman, Corey, Andrew, and Sammy Bolam. Am I saying that right? Jean Ettori, Carl Hochschild, Jeanette Chasen. After the service, please correct me if I mispronounced any of those. We're now going to take a moment of transition, and there's going to be two people sitting in the fellowship hall. Everybody else has left. There's nobody else there. Nobody in the offices, nobody around. They're just sitting in the fellowship hall. And they're going to have a conversation. So I can hope you will find something in this conversation that is meaningful to you. And you just never know what's going to happen in this church before, during, or after. That was a long service.
Sure was. Hi.
Hi, I don't really have anything to say.
Well, I do. But it might not be interesting to anyone else, actually.
Well, now that I'm here, you know, I've been having some challenges inside of me, some, I don't know, struggles, but I don't think I'm ready to share anything yet. You know,
Well, I'd really like to hear what you have to say.
You know, I'm tired of people talking about the weather. You know, I really want to talk about the deep things in life, and that's why I came to this church.
And I'm kind of tired of talking about the weather, too. I'd really like to hear about what you dream about and what's bothering you and what your hopes are.
Wow. And I want to know, how did you get here in the first place? I mean, how did you arrive, you know, at this place, kind of like a resting point in your journey?
Well, I'd really like to know what, and I mean, what if I start talking to you and you don't understand me?
Well, I'll listen. I will listen. I'll listen, and if I don't understand what you're saying, I mean, I can ask you questions, and I want to listen until I really understand what you're saying, that my hearing becomes your understanding. That's what I want.
But sometimes deep things are hard to share. What if I can't find the words?
Oh, I truly believe that wise words will emerge from you. I believe that.
But we just met. How can I trust you to hold some of the deepest things that are inside of me?
Well, it's like a game of catch, you know. It's you share some of your story, and I'll share some of my story, and then we're both kind of stuck in the trust thing, in the trust field, in the outfield together, and I don't know. It's like a give and take that we have to do, right?
I guess so, but how will this work? What'll happen if we really share with each other?
Well, the only way we're going to find out is if we sit together and share and listen, and then we do it with an intention of really caring for each other. Well, we can find out anything in a beginning, can't we?
Well, I'm willing to at least begin to listen and trust and to maybe get to know each other on a deeper level.
Wow. I'm so glad we're the only two here in the fellowship hall. I'm glad I met you.
I'm glad I met you too.
Thanks.
Thanks for showing up.
Hi, I'm back. Well, I think I need another deep breath. How about you? How about we take a big deep breath together? Oh, wonderful. There's nothing like oxygen. So, what I want today is for us to invite ourselves open to walk into, to remember the heart of curiosity. It's not to be curious, to be nosy. You know, some people ask questions and you say, now, are they asking me that question because they are concerned about me? Or they just have a funny way of needing to know all the details of everything that's going on in the church in my life. But curiosity should often come with an opening of presence. Humble inquiry is what I entitled this, the power of humble inquiry. It is not about having the right answer. It is about asking with the right intention, though. You know, when we begin life as an infant, aren't they beautiful? Those little precious little babies. And for them to survive, they need a connection, don't they? They need a connection to nutrition, warmth, and physical care. And most children are born with an insatiable, an uninhibited curiosity. Have you noticed that? Yeah. It results in a lot of nonverbal action and movement and spontaneous inquiry, a lot of touching, reaching, climbing. And of course, there's questions. More questions and more questions and more questions. My sister one time, when my daughter was about 3, decided to give me a break, and she took my daughter for the day. And she was going to take her for the whole day, and we thought, oh, this is great. We got a whole day to ourselves, and she's going to be with Auntie Joni. And about a little after lunch, I get a phone call. I can't do this anymore. She keeps asking me why, and my brain is tired, and maybe you can help me, and between the 3 of us, and I'll come home and we can answer her questions. And we were like, okay, yep, she's coming back. They ask those questions if they're not constrained, if it's natural for them to begin to communicate their needs. And of course, their first distress is a cry. You've all heard everybody in the birthing room want to hear that first cry. And then after that, it's like, okay, you can be quiet now. And that cry is all they have to tell us, don't they? And sometimes it turns into a repertoire of cries where I'm amazed at the parents go, oh, he's hungry. Oh, he's tired. Oh, he needs his diaper changed. You know, and they know all the different cries. And I'm like, wow, I'm amazed. I always thought that they got the parent manual that I never got. And to the joy of parents, you know, that are present in these children's lives, they offer us such gifts. Remember that first little smile? And then some nurse comes along and tells you it was gas? No, that baby was smiling at you. Then there's that soft laughter. And then there's that huge, full body belly lap that we just can't wait to see. And we try to get them to do it again and again and again. And we're just so enthralled by their expressions at such a young age. But of course, boundaries are created to begin to teach a child how to be safe in their environment. I can remember things like, don't bounce on your brother. Let's stop walking now. That's Mummy's knife. Oh no, what did you put in your mouth now? And then to teach them when it was appropriate to talk in social settings. You know, not to come running in the room and just start talking. And though I have known some adults that haven't outgrown that, but and they're innocent questions, you know. They want to know. I remember my daughter saying to me one time, why is that man in that chair with wheels? You know? My mother would tell a story. We lived in West Medford. You know where that is? West Medford. And we were walking down. I think we were going to the Pauline's Donut Shop where my aunt worked. And my sister was in the carriage, and I was holding on. And I saw another mother coming up with a baby. And I let go of the carriage, and I ran over, and I said, this is true, oh, Mommy, it's a chocolate baby. I thought my mother was going to crawl under the pavement. But that mother was so sweet. She said, oh, you must be vanilla, you know. And she was just so kind and warm. And I remember them smiling and thinking, I thought I was going to get in trouble for that, but I didn't. I'm not quite sure what happened there. But there's all those questions over and over and over again that they get, and most of them are wise. And that's the mystery, isn't it? We walk our whole life with whys, And why did that happen? And why does this happen? And we live in mystery. And so it's from the time they're born until the time we leave. We still live in that mystery. But I pray that we live in connection. The unfortunate thing that I've seen is our educational system, with the ratio. Do we have any teachers here? Oh, God bless you. Any other ones? Ooh, there's a couple more. How difficult it is when you have 20, 30 kids in front of you and you're teaching them something, and you can see in their faces that they have questions, But because they're in the room with 20 other kids, that question's not going to get asked. The teacher couldn't at all manage 20 or 30 questions from those children, all coming at her at the same time. So we end up teaching them, which it's not a bad thing, but they got to wait. And I remember my daughter coming home, and she said, I had so many questions to ask Mrs. Murphy, but by the time I got home and I was hungry, I forgot every one of them. So it's somewhat prohibitive for an individual child to be in a setting, an educational setting. But they learn to pick up things in other ways. And they're forever developing their minds as they try to figure out the world around them. But there is much more to loving a child than physical maintenance. Like I said in the beginning, providing them with food and clothing and shelter. There has been much study about the attachment between a mother or a caregiver to an infant child and how it impacts that child for the rest of their lives. The child who is nurtured, encouraged, loved, and embraced for who they are is blessed and is described in their language as having secure attachment. The child who is overly controlled, neglected, and doesn't know the embrace of human touch and love will struggle. But there's hope. I have come to understand and witness that a wounded adult with the right support, willingness, and perseverance can develop internal safety, healthy internal dialogue, communication, and relationships. They can begin, which someone told me, to start to reparent themselves. And that welcomes a new life that includes security, secure attachment in their relationships and their trust with other people. And that life heals beginning with self-love. It takes courage to be creative, to silence that inner critic. Do you know about that guy? Have you met the inner critic? He's been around Concord for a while now, I think. Yeah. It takes us a while. And then to open our hearts with a willingness to accept help. Because if you didn't feel like it was going to come before, why would you think it's going to come now? And to trust. For many people, this is the most transformative and life-giving work that they will do on their journey, is to heal all of that and then come out the other end in a new beginning and to really know who they are, their authentic self, their true self. Not all the messages, oh, you okay up there? Oh, speaking about throwing books, okay. So they have a new beginning, and it heals with self-love. For many people, like I said, this could be the change in their life, and it can happen. It can happen at any time. When I worked in hospice, I remember I had a patient 79 years old, and all of a sudden, she realized she was worthy of love. She was worthy of love. That people could love her just the way she was, and that she learned to accept it and draw it in. And it was a magnificent thing to see. Many people in hospice, I would often say, they don't get cured many times. But boy, I can tell you, there's a tremendous amount of healing and love that happens in that chapter of our lives. So it's obvious that from a very young age and through our lives, the ground of our learning will be this work, so that we can find our truest self. And the practice and the power of human inquiry moves us all forward. It allows the freedom to speak our stories, our feelings, our wants, our wishes, our goals, without the senses and outside control that is weighing on us, that we have to meet those expectations. That's gone. This is our life when we listen to somebody. When I took my first pastoral counseling class, I can remember the professor getting up there, and we were all talking, and there's everybody chattering, and it's like, you know, he stopped and said, "It makes a wonder, is anybody listening in this room?" Because there was so much noise and so much chatter going on, and these were all seminarians just going to town. And he said, "You know, when you're sitting with someone, I've got one thing I want you to remember." And he made us all pause. This is their life. So zip your lip. I paid thousands of dollars to go to a theological school, and that was one of the most profound learnings that I had, was zip your lip. In other words, allow the Spirit and their creativity and their courage to be their guide. It does no one any good to be telling someone how to fix their life, is it? You know, they're in a place where they want to share. They want to let it out. They trust you. They need to be heard. And what a blessing it is to finally have moments in your life when you are actually heard. I did a workshop one time, and I asked this group of chaplains and lay pastoral caregivers and stuff. There's about 100-something people there. And I said, I want you to stop and think. When was the last time you truly felt heard? I'm going to ask you now. You don't have to answer me. But when was the last time you truly felt heard? And I remember this one woman, she was in her 40s, she raised her hand and she said, "It was with my grandmother. My grandmother when I was a little kid. She really listened to me. She heard every word I said. And she didn't try to change me. She let me try to figure out what I needed to do, where everybody else was trying to tell me I was going to be a lawyer, like my father." Now, there are times, of course, you know, in that whole thing, you want to find somebody who does humble inquiry, and they should be people like therapists, you know, or spiritual directors, or a minister or a teacher. And you should seek out wisdom of people, medical specialists. I have so many medical specialists, I could write them all down the length of my arm in my life right now, and I'm blessed to have them. Or sometimes we just need a wise elder. as we go through our lives. I always used to say to my children, I never expected them to be wise, absolutely, know the answer to everything that was in front of them. But I did say, and that I hoped and prayed, that when they needed help or any assistance, that they would choose wisely. That they would choose wisely the person that they would go to. Because much harm could be done if you pick the wrong person. And sometimes you don't find the right person the first time. You just have to keep looking. So I've primarily spoken about this experience about being a listener. When we're listening to people, But let us remember that we all need to share our stories too, don't we? We need to be heard. We need to share what's going on in our lives. We need to trust that inner light, I call it, to lead you to that person who can listen and love and attune to your heart. And I'm telling you, never make compromises. You'll know. You'll know when someone is truly listening to you. You'll know that they're not already, thinking about what to say next. You know that they're not ready to just tell you the story of their life that relates to the story that you just told them, of how they had a car accident. You're talking about the car accident you had, and how the guy got killed, and you're all upset, and then they go, and I went through that myself, and it turns to them. You want to get up, politely say, I wish you the best, and find the door. Or you can point it out to them and say, I don't think you're listening to me, because I really need to be heard right now. Humble inquiry is a foundational spiritual practice. Like most practices, it begins with mindfulness. To practice the ability to be present to oneself and to another person is a gift. It's a growing spiritual gift. To combine curiosity and love well, deeply listen, and to attune to another opens a gate to healing. A noticeable felt sense of connection happens, and I bet you have felt that with some people. You just connect. You feel attuned to them. They really hear you, and they're responding to you. And it opens a gate for healing oftentimes for the one that's sharing, but also the one that's listening. A noticeable felt scent like that to me is a sacred connection. If we reacted with misguided anxiety, we're going to sever the connection by choosing to fix the other person, to drown them and ourselves with our own distracted, related stories. And I think people both walk away shaking their heads. What was that all about? Was I heard? Or did I hear them? Did I say something wrong? Did they say something? There's a real disconnect when that happens. But what you want is the connection. You want the attunement. You want that moment. Imagine if you went to someone and you told them that something happened, and they turned to you and said, "Why did you do that? What were you thinking?" Instead of calmly saying to them, "What led you to make that choice?" How different the conversation would be. Humble inquiry is gentle questioning. It's an invitation. It's like, help me see as you see. Help me understand you more fully. Humble inquiry makes room for what's unknown, uncomfortable, and unfolding in our lives. In families, it could be in work and in congregations. Humble inquiry, gentle questioning, and deep listening softens conflict and strengthens our understanding. True curiosity listens, doesn't it? It listens more than it speaks. This is truly a universal lesson for all of humanity. One of my teachers, Dr. Thomas, and I can't say it right, and I wish Michael was here because his name is German. It's H-U-B-L. How would you? Hube? Hube? Am I saying it right? I used to call him Tom, but anyway, it was safer. He said, true communication arises when I feel you and you feel me. This is deep understanding. It is shared presence. When humble inquiry meets heartfelt attunement, trust will blossom, will grow, and transformation will walk right through the door. So let us open the door wide. Open it wide for human and humble inquiry, for gentle questioning, for deep listening, and certainly love in all of our relationships. May it be so. Amen and Ashe. Well, here comes the money part. Thank you for your generous support of last week's outreach offering to support the Squam Lakes Association, which is absolutely a beautiful place. Today's community plate supports the nonprofit New Hampshire Juvenile Court Diversion Network. It's a system of 18-plus accredited programs to help low-risk juvenile offenders out of the criminal justice system, using the principles of restorative justice. Juvenile court diversion programs hold youth accountable for their disruptive behavior, while also providing education and support services. The goal is to help the delinquent youth to make healthier choices, repair the harm caused by their actions, and find a way forward without entering into the criminal industrial complex. Our morning offering will now be gratefully received. here and elsewhere. And may the world be transformed by our gifts. It says up there, or in your order, I'm sorry. Did you hear that part I said about being transformed by our giving? Okay, and you know, it's important. And the world is going to be transformed by that money that you just gave, right? Okay. This was the journey I had with Craig, of being heard. I truly felt that he listened when I talked to him what I wanted to share today. And he just kind of looked at me and said, you know, I've been working on a song I think that might fit in that. And that song, I'll tell you, he's been working on it, and he's changed it so many times that it's just come out to be absolutely a masterpiece. It's beautiful. I'm putting a lot of pressure on you, Craig. I was going to have a video of a song by another one of my teachers, Mark Burrows. So my teachers were all scattered through this whole service, you know, of people who had helped me or changed me. But when Craig came to see me, and he shared the song that he wrote, I decided we have to sing that today. So, you can handle this, right?
Yeah, man.
You got it?
Got it.
Okay, I think you need somebody, though. Here she comes to save the day.
So we're going to ask you to sing a little bit in this, and I think we'll just do that part first, just to get you familiar. It goes, I see you, you see me, I hear you hear me, I see you see me, I hear you hear me, I see you see me, I hear you hear me. One more time. See you see me, I hear you hear me. I see you see me in humble dignity. We rest here, knowing that compassion makes us free. May understanding light our way. I hear you, we listen, complete with heart and mind. You hear me, we listen with compassion as our guide. May understanding light our way. And now, I see you see me, I hear you hear me, I see you see me, I hear you hear me. Now in the space of warmth and knowing, feelings arise, I see in your eyes the heart's flame we all share. May understanding light our way. I see I see you. You see me. I hear you. You hear me. I see you. You see me. I hear you. You hear me. I see you. You see me. I hear you. You hear
Craig sent that to me online, and I listened to it for hours. It just played in the background when I was meditating and saying my prayers, and it's just a real blessing. It's a time where I really felt heard, and I don't know. I guess I have found a lot of love for Craig and the way he shares his gifts with us. So now, another one of my teachers was John O'Donohue. Any of you know John O'Donohue, read any of his work? He was an Irish priest who was a poet, and he wrote the book Beauty and many other books. And I met him in Boston shortly after his mother-in-law had passed away, and we sat together for hours. And it was really one of those moments of attunement, of connection, of love. So I'm going to share this blessing that mostly are his words, but it's a blessing I wanted to share with you. May you awaken to the mystery of being here and enter the quiet immensity of your own presence. May you find and have joy and peace in the temple of your senses. May you respond to the call of your gift and find the courage to follow its path. May warmth of heart keep your presence aflame and anxiety never linger about you. May your outer dignity mirror an inner dignity of soul. May you take time to celebrate the quiet miracles. Acknowledge the mystery and the miracles of all persons and the pulsating living of all life. May you experience each day as a sacred gift woven around the heart of wonder. In this season of global transformation, invite the habit of reflection. Light a candle or your chalice in the sacred darkness. Breathe deeply. Center your body. Acknowledge your environment, and then gently, slowly move into your deepest self, inviting the clarity and the blessing of love and the willingness to shine forth into the fullness of your eternal gift. I wish you all peace. I wish you quiet wonder and laughing joy. I hope and I hold hope in the continued transformation of our beloved community. And I wish you contentment with yourself and your place in this marvelous universe. Amen. I now invite you to extinguish your chalice at home as Donna extinguishes our chalice here in the sanctuary. Please join me in reading out loud the words that we'll find on our screen. Susie?
There won't be any more words on the screen.
There won't be any more words on the screen?
No, we're just,
You want me to get creative?
no creativity, but memorizing. We're testing everybody's memory.
Oh. How about this? We extinguish this flame. A chair, but not the light of this faith. Whoops. Hearts until we are together again. Can we do that again? That sounded like a 4-part harmony. Okay. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of this faith we share, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Now I would like you to join me in singing our Universalist benediction. If you are comfortable holding hands, hugging, touching elbows, go ahead and reach out. And if not, reach out with your heart to all of us worshiping with you, knowing that you are not alone.